so much for joining me this afternoon. I pray that wherever you are safe. Oh my God, and you are not entertaining any fear. There's a lot of things happening. This thing is even global. It's not just like in the US. But what I want to encourage you is please don't entertain any fear, okay? Don't entertain any fear. Last night before I slept, I was praying, and the Spirit of God was even telling me that if we entertain fear, it can even affect your immune system. So your immune system that you need to fight this disease, if you are entertaining fear, it can affect it. Okay, so please, if you are entertaining fear, no, you don't have to entertain fear. Maybe you have to stop watching TV, because too much TV will make you fear. So maybe you have to stop, because the media, it's not helping. You know, the negative news is too much. God is not surprised of anything that happened. So this thing that is going on, God is not surprised. And he knows what he's doing. And those of us who are dwelling in him, he have a way of protecting us. You have to be worried if you are not dwelling in God. But if you are sitting, sleeping, and doing everything in him, then please, there's no need to entertain fear. This disease, whatever it is, whether it's a spirit, whatever it is not coming near you, and it's not coming near your family. So no need to entertain fear. And I wrote here, I said that they said there is no social, interruption, but you see, in the realm of the spirit, there is no distance. So wherever you are, you can still pray. You can still do whatever you want to do, and God will hear you. So instead of entertaining fear, I will ask you to spend more time in prayer. Last night my husband was doing Facebook Live, and whilst I was listening to him, it occurred to me that at least God have our attention now. So your children are not going to school. You are home. You are not going to work. God have your attention, because some of us, all our life is working. We work and work and work, and we put God on the bench. We get to God when we have to get to God. But now you are not working, so at least God have your attention. Spend time with God. But this thing will not come to your door. Today's show is going to be a wonderful show. And Psalm 91 verse 1 says that he who dwells in the secret place, okay, there is a secret place in the Lord, who dwells there, who dwell in the secret place of the Lord, of the Most High, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So if you are not dwelling in God, then I will have to pray for you. But if God have hidden you, who is the disease? The Bible says we are sitting in heavenly places. My home is an extension of the heavens. The devil cannot, and no disease can come near my dwelling, because my home is a heaven extension. So when we are dwelling in God, we are secure. Okay? We are secure. I'm not shutting anything down. If Costco is open, if Kroger is open, and all those places open, I'm not shutting my prayer down. I'm not shutting anything down. I'm also going to be open, because at the end of the day, we are the light of this world. And I'm not shutting any prayer down. I'm not shutting anything down. We will pray till heaven hear us, because at the end of the day, this thing will go by prayer. So please, wherever you are, just lift up your voice and let's pray. And let's stop fearing the negative things they are telling us. This is when science is failing you, but God will never fail you. All right? So please, if you are listening, it's a blessing. It's going to be a blessed show. But I just want you to know that no need to fear. No need to fear. Please share the video with somebody. Tag somebody to come in. I don't even know how to introduce these wonderful women of God that are with me today. And I told you that, Saturday is my birthday. So today is a very special birthday interview. Can you look at my face? They're going to interview me. I don't know why they decide that today they taking my show and they're going to interview the woman of influence. So I have a takeover today. So I'm just going to sit here and listen to them. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Please share the video with, and I have two guests, wonderful, God-fearing, powerful women of God with me today. I will let them introduce their own, themselves, but they are people that I can say that they are my spiritual daughters, and I'm a blessed woman to have them in my life. They always say that they look up to me, and I also look up to them. Iron sharpen iron. It's just amazing, and I thank God that they are in my life. So once again, woman of influence, we have a powerful, powerful women of God. So I don't know each one of you. I don't even know your name. I don't even know where I've met you. Can you please introduce yourself to woman of influence people? Yeah, our audience. Can you please do that for me? Yeah, go ahead, Minister of God.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone on Facebook. Welcome again to Woman of Influence. This is a special episode, and I'm honored, to be on this program this beautiful afternoon. Again, my name is Minister Yemisi Dumoye. I'm the founder of Dominion Power Ministry, prayer group, that we gather every Tuesday, every month to pray. We pray for the nation, we pray for ourselves, we pray for our marriages. And I'm so blessed to have Mommy Creppy, in my life. I met her many years ago, and I just love what the Lord is doing through her. I am a woman and a person that loves to look up to someone that is making progress. If your life is stagnated, I don't think I want to be in your life. I want to join you to pray that your life will move ahead. So when I find her, I said, this is the person that I want to be close to. How is she doing it? How does she get to where, she is? So that was my institution at that time. I said, I'm going to go to this woman. Every time she's having a show, guess what? I'm here. Every time there's a conference, I'm here. She doesn't know I was coming just to watch her, to see how she does it. And when I got the release from heaven, I started praying that, God, I want a spiritual mother. I want someone, that can mentor me, can help me to grow more. So when I name came to my mind, I started praying. And I remember, Mommy, I sent you a text and I told you, I said, go and pray. This is what the Lord said. And she said, okay. And then she didn't get back to me, for a while. So I said, okay, God, I thought I heard you when you gave me a name. Then she was like, then she called me out of the blue. You remember?
Yes.
I said, I thought I'd get back to you. I said, no, you did not. I was so blessed when she said, okay, we can start working together. She doesn't treat me like a mother and other. She treats me like a partner, like a friend. I have confidence in her. I can speak to her. I can call her. She has been there for me. And I'm so blessed to be on the show today.
Amen.
I have some questions for her. She's in the house seat today. And I'm going to ask her some questions. So be ready, to hear from me. God bless you.
God bless you. I call her, okay, so the next woman of God you're going to hear from, I call her the CEO of Georgia. Okay? Not Gwinnett. Okay? It's not just Gwinnett. It's not just one county. She is the CEO. I have given her that name. And she's living it, and she will work it till it come to pass. Amen. So she is the CEO of Georgia. Woman of God, please introduce yourself.
Put some joy in your mouth.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I am the minister of enjoyment.
Wow.
Anything that there is in life to enjoy, God has given it to us.
Amen.
So whether it's COVID or coronavirus, it will pass.
It will.
We will enjoy this time.
Wow.
All things work together for good, because right now, coronavirus is helping us do what God has wanted us to do.
Yeah.
My mandate and my ministry is to teach men and women of God to take the ministry, go global. Be planted locally and spread globally.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing for the past 10 years.
Wow. Wow.
My name is Abiola Fashino. I was an attorney by training for 15 years. I came to America and God said, go into television and social media, because that's the next frontier that Black people are going to use. So that's what I've been doing for the past 10 years. MyFaithTVNetwork.com is my TV station. and we stream live worldwide on different platforms. And I also have GoGlobalConferences.com, whereby I teach business people and men and women of God how to use social media and television to make impact in this generation.
Wow.
So this is right down my lane. I'm so excited about COVID because it's not going to affect anybody.
Amen.
It's not going to affect us because of what Mommy said, Psalm 91.
That's it.
And we just hold on to the word of God. But we now use social media and TV. We get online and begin to impact it because now they're sitting at home watching us. So
Yeah.
you're there right now. Go ahead and share. Share. Impact somebody about this. Reverend Victoria is a wonderful woman of God, and we're going to explore the different parts of her. We're going to ask her different questions. One thing about her that you need to know that I have discovered, of course, it was Minister Yemisi that brought me to Mommy, and we're always fighting over money. But anytime I connect with Mommy, either online or physically, she always has a word. And I hold on to her word because her word always comes to pass.
Wow.
It's a word of knowledge, a word of wisdom, a word of encouragement, something. So if you're not yet connected to her, you need to connect to her. But you'll learn more about her today from us because we're going to ask her every question, even that one we cannot ask normally.
Okay, I am in trouble today, but I'm not afraid to sit in a hot seat because I know most of you have questions, and so please, this is a time, if you have any question, who is Woman of Influence? Who is this, sitting here? If you want to know anything about me, please, you can still bring your question. We will try and take every question. It's a birthday special, so I don't want it to be like a typical show. We're going to laugh a lot because when I'm with these two, I can laugh till my hair come off. So it's going to be a very interesting show. But what are friends for? Okay, I believe that God always brings people in our way to make us better. So me, every person that God brings my way, I don't just see them as just a person. I see them, what can I contribute into their life? And what can they also contribute into my life? You heard my daughter say that I don't even refer to her as a mother-daughter, but she feels that she's my friend. She feels that she can come to me anytime. She asks me anytime. I meet her once a month, in a month, and come and see some of her questions. Sometimes I have to go back to the library and research because the question she will bring me, it makes me go back to my Bible, school days. And I'm like this, but I love those things. We challenge each other. So thank you so much for joining. Please take a minute and share the video. It's going to be a blessing with somebody. So now I'm done. So over to you, Joe Lighting.
Who's going to give the first question?
Who's going?
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Is it going to be, I keep her, say she's Apostle Fire. Yeah. And what's my name? Evangelist Bibi. What's my name? Evangelist Bibi. My first question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
Mommy, are you ready for my first
I
question?
am.
Okay.
Okay.
You are the First Lady of Grace International Church. My Grace Place.
Yes.
As a First Lady, how do you balance your ministry and your family life?
Oh my God. Okay. So that's the first one. Okay. So how
It's
did I?
easy, it's very easy.
How did I balance ministry and personal life? I believe that anytime God calls you, He give you grace. Okay, so I depend on the grace of God so much, okay, to do most of the things that I do. Everything in my life is run with grace. Ministry is tough. Ministry is not easy. So when you put ministry and family, which we are in partnership with God, with our family, and those two big, things is really not easy. But I believe God always gives us grace, to do. So I try as much as possible to do everything I can do, with the work of the ministry. I'm very passionate when it comes to God. So I see myself as a privilege. God have a lot of children, and He have a lot of people who He can use. Why me? So I see myself as a privilege. So I don't joke with the things of God. Okay? Then when it comes to my family, I see it as my responsibility. But guess what? The Bible says that God is a gift from God. And one day I'm going to stand in front of God and account. I gave you these children. I gave you this man. What do you do with it? So I try as much as possible to also handle my family as I handle the work of God. Because both of them I'm going to give an account. So I try to bring my family to love what I do, so it become like a family thing instead of just me doing it and they thinking, oh, that is mommy's work. So I bring them along, then we all do it together, and that is really helping, to balance things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. Good answer, Mommy.
Okay.
Okay, my own question is similar to the first one that
Okay.
Evangelist of Enjoyment asked.
Minister of enjoyment.
Okay, that Minister of Enjoyment asked. So, Mom, how will you describe your marriage? I know you just spoke about, how you put ministry
Yes.
and
I see a
family
lot of
together.
pictures of you and Bishop and hugging and kissing.
So, we want you to describe your marriage.
My
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting question. But we've been married. Actually, May coming will be 19 years. So we've been married 19 years. I always say that I thank God for my husband. Amen. Okay. But since day one, I remember when I met him, he was a pastor already. I was also kind of a businesswoman / work. So I remember the first time we get home, then he says that, oh, now everything is together. We are in partnership. So this is not yours. This is not mine. This is ours. And growing up together, I grew up in a home that, each one by himself got for us all. Because everybody have their room and everything. So it was a little bit, and I'm like, what do you mean by everything? But my husband is a God-fearing man, and which I thank God for. He loved God, so he always says that I treat you like the way God wants me to treat you. And I also try to treat him as God wants me to treat him. But our life is so close that sometimes when he travels, I feel like something is lost. There's nothing that I do in my life that my husband is not involved. Woman of influence, he was the one who brought the idea. So everything that I do, he's involved with it. We don't really, I always tell him when we are home, he's my husband. I even say that you are my firstborn. I tease him and everything. But once we come outside, and especially we are in church, he ceases to be my husband and my boyfriend and all those things I do. He's my pastor. Yes. So he's my spiritual authority. He's a man that hear from God and give me instructions. Okay, so I give him that honor. I give him that respect, as a man of God, as somebody who hear from God. And I have a little bit of the cake, So when it comes to ministry, he's the head of everything. Our life, he's the head. I give him the honor to be the man of God because I believe, okay, it's God who says that men are head. So if as a woman, you want to fight that position, you are not fighting your man. You are fighting God. Because God, he didn't put himself there as the head of the family. God put him there. So if you fight that, you are fighting God. And I don't want to be in trouble with God. I love God. I fear God. I want to live long. Yeah, that's so. Hey, be the head. Let me follow. And so far, I've been enjoying my following. So our marriage is peaceful. I can't ask for more. I think God. I always tell my friends that God give me what I don't deserve. It's more than what I deserve when it comes to, to my marital life. And I'm just very, very grateful. And I always tell him, even if Jesus come and turn himself as a man and come, I will tell Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm taking. I have one already, So I thank God for his life, and we really enjoy it. I tell people I'm not enduring. You see, I've met people, I do counseling, I've met people who have been married for 30 years and whatever, and you could see that they are just there because of something, But I am really enjoying through my life, So I thank God for that. So that's good.
I need to come and take some notes as the minister of enjoyment. I need to come and take notes about enjoying your marriage.
Oh, yes.
So I can teach it to others too.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another question for you.
Okay.
You're talking about you met your husband as a pastor, you went into business, then later on you came into ministry and you do things together. My question is, if you were to do things again, is there anything you would do a different way? Do you have any regrets about anything you've done in the past that you will do a different way if you were asked to do now?
Oh, okay. I don't have any regrets.
Okay.
I think when I opened this year, the Spirit of God, when I was January, the Woman of Influence show, we look at the things that we can do to improve our life better. Mm-hmm. And I say that one life, no regret. I don't want us to finish everything said and done. Then at the end of the day, we are 60, we are 70, we are 80, and you are regretting. Right. So personally, when I look at my life, I for regret is zero. I don't regret anything. I think God have dealt with me very gracefully, wonderfully. I don't have any regret. Can I improve some things in my life? Of course, yes. So I look forward, I read, I go to conferences, I do those things to get more so I can give more. But there's no regret. There is no regret. My married life, there's no regret. Ministry, God is blessing us, God is increasing, and no regret. My children are all A's students, even my 7-year-old is top of the class. They did the Georgia assessment or something, and she was the 6th person in Georgia. 7-year-old, 6th person in Georgia. And I was even asking her, so who were the 6th? Why did they beat you? But I don't think I have any regret. God has been so good to me. God has been wonderful good to me. So I don't have regret. I can change things, but no regret.
No regrets.
Yes, no regrets.
Hallelujah.
Please, if you have any questions, ask. If you have any questions, ask so that we can answer your questions. So if you have any questions, apart from the ones that we are talking about, please ask,
how did she
and
catch
we will do that.
George?
Yeah.
How did Reverend George catch her?
He should have been here to answer. So let me add that to it, because
Why did you say yes to him?
That's a funny story. Okay, so he was living in the city, Accra, and I was working at Obuasi. So it was a long distance. Now I was working at Ashanti Goldfields. So that time the company was going down, the gold was going down, so they gave workers offer that they can take money and go. And I'm telling you, the offer was so good. So I'm like, I would just take this money and go and find something else to do with my life. So I took the money. My senior sister was then in the UK. So I took the money and I went to the city. And I was living with the seniors among us. But I was going to England. But then I have to stay with my sister for a while. So one day, I was going to my church. I used to go to Victory Bible Church International in Ghana. So I was going to my church, and I was late. I hate lateness, and I don't want to miss praise and worship. If I go to church and I miss praise and worship, then I didn't go to church. There's no need to go to church. So I don't know what happened. I was late that day. So I was in the car. Then when I get to the junction of a church, which International Central Gospel. He was a pastor there. So I'm like, the time I get to my church, praise and worship would be over. So let me just go to this church for today.
Just kidding.
I didn't know anything. So, not knowing, they start church early. So when I walk in, Africa, they have built the building, but there was no windows and those things. So it's open for air. So when I was walking in, he was preaching. Wow. So innocent me, I walk in, and when they sit at the back somewhere, not knowing he have noticed me. According to him, he said all his thoughts vanished. Like, oh my God. Who is this lady?
Behold your wife.
So what happened when we finished church? Of course, they said they will meet all the new. So I went there. They met me. Then when he finished, he said, "Oh, for you, I have a message for you." And I'm like, "What message?" So he asked me where I live, and I showed him. Africa, we didn't have address. Now at least we have Google, but we didn't have address that time. So he made his armor bearer, took me home with his car.
Where to come and see you again?
I didn't know he have agenda, So he told me the next morning I should come and see him in his office. So then I went, and that's how it started. So that's all the thing. Whoa. But he tells the story so funny. Because he says that he dismissed all the first comers, and he said that you sit there. Because he wanted them to go. So he can.
My wife, she must not go.
Yes, and he sent his armor bearer to take me home, because if I don't come for the appointment, at least he will come for visitation. So
He saw a good thing.
He saw it. Then I went to England for a couple of years. Then we came back and we became married, and we've been together since. So it has been good.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Isn't that an interesting story?
Yeah, it is.
And before I ask her the next question, viewers, if you're single, I just want you to catch something from what she just said. Number one, you must be in the Lord.
Yes.
You must have a discerning spirit. That day she did not even know why she was late, but God purposely made her late so that she can go to the church where Bishop Creepy was.
Oh, yeah.
And now look at it. Thank God that she didn't miss it. Thank God. And I love God sometimes, his sense of humor is so wonderful. Because if God has told you, Mommy, that, I'm sending you to that church, you will not go. Because you already are a church.
Yeah.
Praise God. Okay, that brings me to my next question. Now we're going to leave your family and marriage alone. We're coming to your life now. Okay, my question is, what made you start Hands of Grace and this program, Woman of Influence? What made you? How did you start it?
Okay, so Hands of Grace is a mission aspect of Grace Family. When actually something very interesting happened. When we get married, God asked us that our wedding, and that time my husband was on radio in Accra, so he was very popular. People know him. So in fact, our wedding was packed. And me too, I was working at Ashanti Goldfield, so that was the richest company in the world that time. So all my co-workers was coming, and I knew I was going to get some good money. So I was there in England, then my husband called me and says that God says that every money we receive from the wedding we should give to Osu Children's Home. That's a charity. And I'm like, okay, if God said it. But according to him, God said it, and he was struggling with God. Like, oh no, that is the money that we have to start life with. But for me, anything God, I'm like, if God says, I'm not going to challenge it. So we called the charity home, and we asked them to come. And the director says that, I haven't seen anything like this before. Nobody, since I've started this, nobody says that they are going to give their wedding money to the orphanage. No, I haven't. So I myself will come. So the woman came with 2 little children. So in my wedding picture, they were in there. And when we collected the money, everything, we didn't even count it because we know it was going to be a huge money. So we didn't even count it. We put everything in a bag and we gave it to them. And right there, God spoke to both of us that we're not going to be poor again, because the Bible says that when you give to the poor, you learn it, too. But it has been a passion to take care of the needy, because when you read the Bible, you know that the needy is a responsibility of God. So it's a privilege for you to decide you're going to do the work that God have to do. So that's when Hands of Grace started. But when we came to America, American life and everything. So I didn't really go into it fully. So when I turned 40. When I turned 40, I told God, because God was then bombarding me, you are not doing what I asked you to do. So I told God, God, from now going, I am all in. So that's when I really launched it. And I go to Jamaica, I go to Africa, everywhere here, I feed the homeless. When we moved to this area, I went to the school right there. And I'm going to supply them books, I'm supplying them lunch, I'm supplying them dinner, because there are some families there that Friday, they need grocery to go home. So I went there, and I'm going to do all that. So it's something that God really wants me to do, and He gives the provisions and the strength, to do it. Woman of Influence came by when my husband have a prophetic breakthrough ministry. It was on TV 57. So he gave me a day in there to also do something. Then that's when Woman of Influence was born. But the platform of Woman of Influence is to touch on some of the things that you want to preach as a pastor. You want to talk to your people, you want to influence people, you want to impart, women and men of ministry, but you can't use the pulpit to do it, because it's not everything you can come and stand there, and talk about. So the show is to address those things. I'm in church, I'm still fornicating. I'm in church, I'm still struggling with sin. What should I do? Those topics. You understand? I'm in church, I'm still gossiping. How can I put my life together so I can line my life up for what God said He would do? So those things that we will talk about that will help people to know that it's not just playing in tongues, but you have to plan your life. You have to arrange your life in a way. We are still in the new year. We are still in March. Yeah. Rather unfortunate, this thing is kind of throwing things off. But what, woman of God, God told me this year is going to be a good year, especially for the church. So this thing that is going on, it's just the devil trying to blow some things. We don't want this thing to distract us, because what God has said, He has said it. At the end of the day, when we get to December, we will know that God spoke. So it's going to be a good year. So Woman of Influence is to just encourage, inspire, and I believe in making an impact in people's life. I don't want to live my life, then I'm gone, and it's like I didn't come here. Nobody know who was Victoria Krepi. You just came through and passed. No. I want to leave a print. I want to open schools, orphanage. I want to do all those things. So when I'm gone, there will still be Victoria handprint everywhere. And I believe in that as children of God, that God doesn't just call us to just enjoy praise and worship at church and clap hands a little bit, and just, no, make an impact in our society, make an impact in people's life. So that's how Woman of Influence is, and that's how it came up. All right? Okay.
My next question is going to be telling on myself.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it's like this. I'm not going to look at your face when I'm asking the question.
Then it's going to be a very interesting question.
It's about you.
It's about me?
All about you. The way you do your hair, The way your face is,
Oh.
the way your body is so athletic, the way you dress, the way you smile, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you wear your shoes and you look so good, the way you exercise and you keep an athletic body. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling on myself because I have to go exercise. I have to look like you somehow. So, if you were going to change anything about you, what would you change? I'm not looking at you. Don't tell me to exercise now.
Okay, so if I have to change anything, whatever she has said, nothing of that will change. Okay, because
So you
that,
still exercise every day?
oh yeah,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
yes. I exercise every day. I put it in my life. Okay, I don't exercise. I've gotten to a point. You know, in my 30s. Okay, in my 30s, I just don't eat, just to keep my body. So in my
Hey,
yeah.
don't eat.
So in my 30s, it
like
was
food,
very,
though.
very strict. Growing up to my 40s, I noticed I can't do that. It's not good for my health. It's not good for my body. So now I will eat, okay? So I eat, and if I have to eat, then I have to intensify my exercise, okay? So I don't exercise just because I want to lose weight. You know, I exercise for my health. So it's part of me. It's something that is part of the way I wake up in the morning and I know I have to pray because I love God and I have to worship, I have to do all those things. I know I also have to exercise. So it's part of my life. So I've put it in my schedule, how I live. You know, so whether I'm on the road, whether I'm traveling, wherever I am, even if I can't go to the gym, I have to walk around the building. You know, I have to do something.
So now that we are home,
Yeah.
coronavirus, you can walk around.
We have a question? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead. Okay, we should go
And I
ahead.
remember
Oh,
the
okay.
last time we were talking,
Yeah.
we talked about what to eat.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a way and manner of eating.
Yeah.
Just don't eat anyhow.
Yes, yes. So even now that I say that I eat, I watch what I eat. The time is also very important. I tell people, if you want to eat heavy, do it in the morning. You can eat your eba. You can eat your fufu. With me, fufu, I've stopped fufu eating almost like 10 years now. It didn't come. I don't know. One day I wake up and I couldn't eat it anymore. But I still eat my benku. I still eat my kinky. And I still eat all those things. I still eat rice. Rice, I cut rice down a little bit. I can go for months without not eating rice. But I still eat rice. You understand? But if you want to do that, do it in the morning. Okay? So maybe by 11, you are eating all those things. Then the rest of your eating, make it light. You understand? So you can have maybe light lunch, you know, and light dinner. You understand? But you're doing all your heavy eating in the morning. Why? Because after that, you are moving. You are doing things. You go to work. Even if you are staying home mom, you are chasing your children around. You are taking them here. You are taking them. So you are moving. So the food doesn't stay, you know, in you. Because one of our issue is when the food stay in us. And the rice and all those things tend to be sugar. You know, yeah, it tend to be sugar. So that's what make us have, you know, sugar disease and all those things, you know. So please eat, you know, but eat very well. You know, eat your greens more, okay? Eat your greens more. Anything green is good. If you don't cook it, it's better, okay? So if you are using spinach and all those things, blend it, put spinach in a blender, add strawberry and those things to it. You won't even taste the spinach, okay? So eat your greens more. The more greens you eat, the more better it is, you know, for your health. And please, I always tell people, it's not each one of us that will have time to go to the gym. Mm-hmm. Me, myself, sometimes I feel like I have to cancel my gym membership. I just decide to just leave it alone. But it's not, I'm telling you, it's not every time I go to the gym. But whether I'm in the gym or not, I move. You have a house, just go 3 rounds, 4 rounds. In your neighborhood, just walk from here to here, okay? They say 30 minutes of walk can reduce sugar disease, blood pressure, whatever. Just 30 minutes for what? So you can do everything. Just make sure you are moving. So that one, I'm not changing. It stays there. My dressing, I always say that I think when my mom gave birth to me, and when I was coming out from my mom's womb, I have a shoes on.
Oh, my goodness.
Because my mother used to tell me that when I was a kid, when she traveled, my mother was a businesswoman. So when she traveled and come home with a dress and a shoe, and I try it on, I'm not taking it off.
Oh, my goodness.
So I go to bed with shoes.
With shoes on.
With shoes on.
We need to have a shoe cam today. We have to look at this shoe today. The shoe today is something else. Shoe cam.
So I think it's part of me, and maybe because of the way I was brought up, my mother used to say that when you are going to the doctor's office, make sure you have dressed good. Yes. So when the doctor sees you, he knows when he prescribed the medicine for you, you can afford it. Those jokes, when you are going to see a lawyer, dress good. Because then he knows you can afford it. Whether you can afford it or not, just your dressing will let him know that this lady can afford it. So they will treat you good, So it's part of me. It makes me happy, I can't deal without it, And the funny aspect is the way I dress. People think I spend a lot of money. It's all in wisdom, especially when I wear dresses that are not expensive. It makes me even feel so good. I have high end. I'm not saying that I have those things. I believe in it's part of me, but you can dress good wherever you are. You understand what I'm saying? If you can't afford maybe Macy's, or you can't afford Nordstrom and those places, and you can afford Ross, dress in a way that nobody knows that you want to Ross. Mm-hmm. It's as simple as that. The way you put your colors together. And when people say that, oh, I like your dress, don't say I bought it at $10. Who cares?
No, who cares?
You understand?
Thank you.
It fits you. You understand? And sometimes I think that we wear our dress. Our dress doesn't have to define us. Yes. So whatever you are putting on, it's you who's making the thing. Right. Beautiful, not the vice versa. So wherever you are shopping, even if at a thrift shop that you can afford, please put it together and rock in it nicely. It's very, very important.
What about the hair?
Yeah. People, woman of God, people address you mostly by the way they see you. So my hair, I've noticed that I have a very interesting face, and that I've tried long hair, I've tried braids. They all fit me, but my short hair is my best thing. So I keep it. People ask me, so do you go to the salon every week? No. It will shock you. I go to the salon like monthly, but I fix it myself. This morning I fix my hair myself. So
it's manageable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, they have a question.
We do have a question that's a little bit off speed from the birthday special that we're talking about.
Okay.
It says, well done, pastors. Enjoying your discussion so far. My question is, how do I make an abusive marriage work when one's life is often threatened?
Yeah.
Abusing marriage to work?
Yes.
When
one's life is often threatened.
Wow. Okay, so God didn't believe in divorce. Me sitting here, I didn't believe in divorce. But I don't believe in abuse too. And I can assure you, God also don't believe in an abuse. So as much as you feel like your life is at threat, please seek help. Okay? Seek help. Go to your counselor, go to your pastor, something. If it's not working, sometimes it's better to separate than to die. Okay? So seek somebody that can help you guys. And sometimes when somebody comes in and talk to you and counsel you guys and put things in other ways, sometimes it's help. But if your life is on thread, please, 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 I will not advise you to stay home. Then the next day, you are gone. That is not worth it, okay? So emotional abuse is unacceptable. Words, I always tell people, sometimes the words that people speak can kill you, okay? It's not acceptable. Touching and beating you, oh my God, it's not acceptable. So please, if you are going through anything that you think is really killing you before you die, seek help or get out. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Please. It's very important. Yeah.
Yes. Very, very important, you know, what she said.
Yeah.
I too, I've been married for 22, almost 23 years. I can tell you that if you find yourself in an abusive marriage, please seek counsel.
Seek, yeah.
Godly counsel.
That's it.
Godly counsel. And if the counsel does not work, like mommy just said, please separate. We're not saying divorce right now, separate.
Yeah.
Because separation can bring you guys closer. You might realize it goes to counseling, you go to counseling. Marriage is not a do or die affair. God bless you. So, Mom, my next question. So, what do you think is your most important responsibility as a pastor's wife and also a pastor yourself?
Oh my God. So my most, that's double question.
Double question.
So as a pastor's wife, I will answer that first. You know, I always say, one time they were interviewing me on TV in Ghana, and I make this statement, and the lady's like, what? I've never heard this before. But nobody taught me this. Maybe the Spirit of God taught me to just save my life. You know, the Bible says that God will give us a pastor according to God's heart. So every member coming to church, they are coming to their pastor. Okay, so being a first lady, I always tell my first lady's friend, first I think it's a call. It's not just you coming and sitting down, and those of us who like crossing our leg and, you know, in our nice hats and those things. It's not just that. It's a calling. So the first thing you ask yourself, who put you there? Which is not even your husband. It's God who put you there. You answer to God. You get your strength, your abilities, everything from God. Second, people don't come to church because of their first lady. People come to church because of their pastor.
Very true.
You understand? Yes. So when you are with your husband and people are sharing those things, please give them space. For me, I always say I have my husband 24/7. We have church for 2 hours. What can you do 2 hours? You understand what I'm saying? So I give the members time with their pastor. It's your pastor. You know, have him, you know, whilst he's at church or something like that. So I don't have that, you know, why are you talking to my husband and why are you putting my husband on the corner and all those things. If you do that as a first lady, then you don't know your place in the first place. You understand? Know your place. Know what God has put you. Comfortably operate from there. And you won't have any issue. So for me, they come to church. They come for their pastor. If somebody come to me, so I always say, not to be in trouble, I tell people, if you go to my husband and you tell my husband, this and that, it stays with my husband. I don't know. If you want me to know, come to me. Tell me the same thing. Then I can help you. But what you go to my husband and stays with my husband. If my husband decides to share it with me, it's a privilege. I keep it to myself. Even when I see you, I'll pretend I don't know anything. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because it's between me and my husband. You understand? So if the people come to church and they want to relate to me as a person, thanks God, hallelujah, praise the Lord, I enjoy. If they want to relate to their man of God, thank God, hallelujah, is their man of God. That's what they are here for. So when we see ourselves as first lady in that position, I think it helps us. You understand? Because sometimes it's a little bit when, especially you are talking with your husband, somebody just came and stand in the middle and address your husband as if you were not there. If you don't take care of those small things, and just people are sometimes funny. They want to say something that will cause, a little bit friction between you and your husband. If you behave like the way I behave, it cut all those things down. And also as a pastor, I believe that God called me as a pastor to take care of his sheep. So it was my responsibility is to encourage them, with the word of God, pray for them. Some of my people call me the weeping prophet because they will come to my office and they are telling me their story. They are crying, I'm crying. And I believe God bring people to us to guide them to him, shepherd them to him. So as a pastor, what can I do to improve people's life, their walk with God better? What can I do for them to know their pain is my pain, their joy is my joy? When I see my people being promoted, being lifted, being celebrated, I'm happy because that is the work of the ministry, So, and also the souls out there who don't know Christ. It's my responsibility to make sure as much as I can to preach the gospel to everybody that cross my way so they can have the same relationship, the same privilege I have with Christ. So it's a huge responsibility, but God and his grace make it possible. Yeah. Okay, it's a good one.
Evangelist, I just thought about something.
Okay.
And I've noticed, in some of these first ladies and the pastors, but I know, just across my mind. Have you ever had any situation, currently or in the past, that you kind of feel jealous, that one of your church member is too close to your husband?
Let me write on that question also. And we see that a lot. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, my pastor hugging, calling, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., I have a problem. Mm-hmm. Come and visit me, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I want to speak with him only. Then, how do you deal with them? What boundaries have you set in place to protect your marriage and your family life?
Yes, I haven't feel jealous, but I caution. I question my husband, be careful. You understand? Because, sometimes we as women can see, we have that intuition that God has blessed us with. So I know as we are going, it haven't been too much, but as we are going, he will tell you that there has been some time I will tell him, just be careful here. Okay? What I do is I tell some people that are close to me that are in the same position that you fight most of your battle on your knees. Don't fight it. Don't let people know that you are fighting. You understand? Approach those things in your prayer closet. God can cause confusion in a place that you don't have to go and cause it. Because if you go with your face and cause it, it will be all over. Then the person's wife is jealous. And the person will, when I'm fighting on my knees and God slap your face in the night, you can't come and tell me, you understand? You can't come and tell me, why do you make God slap my face? But God can slap your face. You understand? So I deal with most of those things on my knees, But once in a while, I will let him know, be careful. But, we try as much as possible to do things. Even when we came here, my office is supposed to be the media room. Because we are always, either our office is opposite or adjacent, But when I get there, I'm like, no, my office is too small. I don't like this. That's why my office is where it is now. So we try and do that. And when he have to do a counseling for any opposite sex. Even it's not me normal who is there, but prophetess. Prophetess is always around, and he doesn't close his office door. Yeah, so there are some things that, we put together just to make sure that once it's an opposite sex, there's always somebody around. Yeah. Which it don't have to be me, so they will say, pastor's wife is always there. No, it's not me. It's a woman of God in the church. That one, you can't say the pastor's wife is.
Wisdom. I hope you're getting a nugget this afternoon. Okay, my next question. How do you apply Galatians chapter 6, verse 2? That says, carrying each other's burden. When facing any issue and frustration, difficulties in ministry, how do you help carry the burden with Bishop?
It's very, very interesting. This one is very, very current. When we were trying to build this place and the challenge that we have to go through, my husband would say that one of the things he liked about me, that anytime he says God, I don't question. But on my side, it's everywhere. Once people tell me, God says I should do this, I won't question you. But I believe that any time God asks you to do something, the results will prove whether it's God or not. Okay? So anytime my husband says, God says, let's go for it. And it has been 19 years, actually, that every direction and everything he have said, God says, have brought us this way. You understand? So I don't question that. When we were going through that, it was very tough on him. Because at the end of the day, it was either do and die. We sold our home, just to get the money to give to the church, to do whatever we have to do and all those things. So it was very, very hard. And most of the time when he come home and I see him very light and everything, and I told him, God having, I would say, man of God, God haven't brought you this far to leave you. He's in there. So he will come, most of the time he will come with the bank negatives and those things. I don't respond negatives back. So if he comes and says that, the bank says that we can't have it. I say, they are not God. We can have it. Because he can say, they said we can't have it. So we can't have it. The man is talking negative. You are replying negative. Where will God stand? So anytime he comes, the bank says that, we cannot have it. I say, no. They are not God. The Bible says that the heart of the man is in God's heart. Let's see tomorrow what they will say. And all those things, most of the things the bank say we couldn't have, we end up having everything. Because God says. So when each one of us are going through things, especially when it comes to him, I try not to repeat the negative aspect that come from the situation. I try to turn it around with the word of God. Sometimes I even laugh at him. Like, I will ask him money. He says that there's no money. I'm like, you are a big man. Big man, always there's money somewhere. Check. You understand? I'm like, hey, what happened to my pastor, the rich man? Make sure things happen, So it's and sometimes I will say something, say, oh my God, what happened to the prophetess? This one is really negative. So he also laughed at me. Please, I want you to prophesy. These things that you are saying is not good. Just use your mouth for something else. So we try to turn each other frustration and negative to positive. So that's how we normally do, with everything that comes our way. Yeah.
That's something I said about you, Reverend V. That when you say some things, nuggets drop. At least from what you said, I learned two things. If God said it, the results will show.
Oh, yes. Yes.
When somebody is saying negative, you say the positive.
That's it.
What did God say?
Yeah.
So right now, coronavirus, We're hearing negative on TV.
Yeah.
My question is, we'll use Reverend V
Uh-huh.
solution. What did God say?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we need to go into. Most of the time, we forget what God said.
That's it.
And
That's
we
it.
look at the situation on ground. And once the devil has got you saying the same thing as CNN,
Oh, yeah.
saying the same thing, then that is it.
Yeah.
What I think will be my last question to you today, I think it would be, how do you deal with criticism?
Ah.
Whether when people
Okay.
criticize you or criticize Bishop,
Yeah.
how do you deal with it?
With it. That thing is very, very interesting. I think one time I heard Joyce Meyer, I was listening to Joyce Meyer, and she says that they took her to the newspaper and they were bashing her and everything, and she was so furious. And David was like, "Why are you so annoyed?" And he said that, "Because it's not your face, it's my face that is there." You know? So I always remember that. But there is, growing up, my mother always used to say that whether you do good or you do bad, people are going to talk about it. So you are doing good job, you are doing wonderful things, people are going to talk about it. You are doing bad things, people are going to talk about it. So always make sure that you are doing the good things. Okay? So when I'm doing a good thing and people are talking about it, I see it as a free advert. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah, because they're going around saying things, which is what you are doing. At the end of the day, there are some people that will never hear your name till somebody go and ask to say something to them, you know. But I just, there are some things you just have to ignore it. Because, you see, everybody talking about you cannot be in front of you. They are always behind you. So it means you are doing something that they cannot do. That's why they are talking about you. You understand? And I've never seen a rich person or a rich group of people sitting down and talking about poor people. But the poor people are always talking about the rich. So I prefer to be the rich person that you can talk about. You understand? So some of the things I just ignore. I don't take it personal. But people, my mom says that the mouth of people are meant to talk and eat. So when there's no food, the rest is talking. Let them talk. You understand? Let them talk. Yes, let them talk. Yeah.
What you say is very true. You know, people always talk behind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, behind
Nobody
you.
comes to your front.
No.
Except they want to really accuse you.
Yeah.
But usually they talk behind you.
It's behind
That's
you.
why we call them backstabbers.
That's it.
You backstabbers. You
Yeah.
know? So I pray that the Lord will continue to put you on Bishop. My last question.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope you have been blessed so far.
Yes.
My last question. What is the greatest blessing that you can remember being a pastor? And also, what is the greatest burden that you have as a pastor?
Okay. So I will do the burden first because that is very small. The blessing is big.
Amen.
You know, ministry is work. Sometimes when I hear people, especially, you know, in Africa where we're coming from, when people don't know what to do with their life, they said, "I'm going into ministry." Are you kidding me? Okay, maybe you just going to walk around like people walk around. But you want to do ministry? It's work. Ministry is work. You have to work it. It's what God will do, and it is what you will do. Okay? So ministry is not for lazy people. Ministry is not for people who don't know what to do with their life. Ministry is people who have brains and want God to use them to do something in this world. So it's not easy. Ministry is not easy. Everybody tells you ministry is easy. It's easy because of what God have given us. The grace make it easy. You know, so that is some of the challenge that comes with ministry. But I believe that God always graces us, you know, to overcome in each other. And as for the blessing, I am so blessed. You know, I don't have even any siblings, very close siblings around me in America, me and my husband, okay? So everybody around us are people that God has blessed us with. And these are people that my father-in-law died. They will buy their own tickets and take off from work and travel with us to Africa. Okay? So they buy their own ticket, take off from work for like 3 weeks, losing money, and just join us. Okay? These are people who think about you. Look at women of influence. Look at the people behind the scene. You know, it's not like they don't have anything to do with their life. TJ is here to make sure that the video is good, you know, everything is good. My pictures, you see my pictures on Facebook is so pretty because I have a personal photographer as a son.
That reminds you, I did Photoshop.
Okay? You know, as a son. And they want to make sure the best is out there. You know, some pictures, I put it out and they will call me, Mama, you have to take that off. You understand? So people, God has blessed me with people that are making my life work. You know, all my books that I wrote. Now, my next book is coming in a few weeks, it's coming out. From typing to editing to book cover to printing, everything is around me. So I just write the book and I give it to somebody, editing and make sure this book bless people. And sometimes they write more than even what I wrote. And they come out. And I just put my big name on it, Victoria Creppy. You know, so God has really blessed me, and I can't complain. My birthday is coming, and I hear, you know, the rumors going around and things they want to do and everything. So it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing. I can't complain. I'm so blessed. I'm just a blessed.
Amen.
Yes,
Amen.
yes.
Amen.
I can't complain.
I have no more questions, but
Okay.
I have a song.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
want us to join. We have to sing happy birthday. It's a birthday edition in advance, so you start
Yeah.
enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which version they know, but join us with whichever version. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday, dear Reverend Victoria Creppy.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Stanza 2. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord keep you. May the good Lord make his face to shine upon you.
Amen.
Happy birthday to you. Do you know this third one?
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today and this wonderful, wonderful host. And today too happened to be my son's birthday, Emmanuel Aye. So as a team, and he's sitting right there, minding the computer and everything. So as a team for Women of Influence, we want to say happy, happy, happy birthday. You know, all the background and everything. If it wasn't him, we wouldn't even have the beautiful background and everything. So we are praying for God's blessing. We are praying that God will continue to give him more ideas, contracts everywhere. So we thank you, and we love you so much, Emmanuel, all the team from Women of Influence. We love you, and we say happy, happy, happy birthday to our best photographer, our best designer, the best of the best. We thank you so much for all you do. God bless you. Women of Influence, next week we will continue the show. We are still looking at the past and how to let go of your past and just move forward. So we're going to do that, okay? And next week, please meet me here once again as we do that. God bless you. Bye-bye. Happy, happy birthday to Emmanuel too, and to me on Saturday. Much people are just special. Much people are special. Yes, we are.
Till the end of time.
See you next